So are Americans prepared for a severe recession? That sounds like a crap sandwich. And is there anything our bumbling government can do to fight back at this point? Joining me now to discuss the Cato Institute Center for Monetary and Financial Alternatives. He is the director there. Norbert Michel is back. Welcome back, sir.
Hi, Kennedy.
Hi.
How are you?
So Nouriel Roubini, he was the only guy who was the Cassandra running around in 2008 going, oh, we are headed to hell on the fast track. And now he says the recession is going to be so bad, you're going to be sick of bad recessions.
Stimulus checks, everybody's wanting them. Millions of people have said, I hate inflation happening, but send us the checks. Well, guys, I have all that information in this video, the most up-to-date that you need to know about of which states are sending out stimulus checks. Stay tuned because you don't want to miss. Hey, what is up, YouTube? Welcome back to another show. Thank you so much, guys, for tuning in today. If you haven't already, make sure to hit that subscribe button to stay up to date on all the news. We're doing a ton of giveaways, guys, like $250. That information is down below. So don't build the wall, is what Biden said. He said there will never be another foot of that wall built as long as I'm president. But yet again, he is building the wall. So what does that tell you about this administration? What does that tell you about who he is as a president? They say one thing and they do another. Yet we are in the worst recession that has ever been known. Let's take a watch to this video to let you see what is going on.
No, there will not be another foot of wall constructed on my administration.
Why is the Biden administration building a border wall in Arizona?
So we're not finishing the wall. We are cleaning up the mess the prior administration left behind in their failed attempt to build a wall.
Okay, the Biden administration trying to defend authorizing funding to close multiple border wall gaps in the Yuma, Arizona sector of our southern border with Mexico. Despite what you heard there, the president's campaign trail promised not to build another foot. All right, so let's start there with the team tonight, the Breathe Team panel to break it down. Former State Department official David Tafuri, Democratic strategist Kevin Walling, and Project 21 co-chair Horace Cooper. Gentlemen, great to have you all back with us tonight.
Hey, Shannon.
Thank you.
Okay, so this is what the CBP chief, Raul Ortiz, tweeted today. He says, we're funded to close 4 border gaps in Yuma sector. Closing these gaps will help deter migrants from crossing in this dangerous area, which this fiscal year has accounted for 45,761 apprehensions and 45 water rescues. And Horace, one of our guests we've had on this week said there have been a lot of deaths. This is a dangerous trek that people go on coming here. So the wall closing, whatever you want to call it, this administration says now's the time for that.
See, this administration, instead of just agreeing to do the right thing because it's the right thing, the wall is a good idea and it saves lives. But instead, we have to redefine. We're not rebuilding the wall, we're saving lives. Inflation is just tentative. It's going to pass. It's transitory, except it's now at a 40-year high. It's not a recession. That's not the technical term for what's going on, when in fact, Americans are saying at levels we've not heard since the Jimmy Carter administration, it's a recession. It's terrible. This administration should stop playing the word games.
All right, so let's take it to Kevin, our Democratic strategist here. Congressman Andrew Clyde, he's a Republican from Georgia, tweets this. After Hispanic support for President Biden craters to 26% approval, he suddenly wants to complete the border wall. Kevin.
Well, Shannon, I really don't think there's politics involved. As you rightly point out, so many lives have been lost, including the life of a 5-year-old girl who just drowned last month at that border crossing. So there's an appropriation of that money to fill in those gaps around Yuma, Arizona. We've got to take the politics out of this. This is actually about saving lives of these migrants so desperate to come to this country, including that little girl who got separated from her mom. So I want to put the politics aside if we can and actually do the right thing for the American people, which is, to Horace's point, build part of this wall back. And I'm a Democrat that believes in border security and increasing funding for patrol officers and border enhancements.
So guys, what do you think? Do you think that the United States is entering into a recession that has been the worst in ever in history. I mean, literally, they said since Jimmy Carter, things haven't been this bad. And I'm starting to believe, and I think I know why, because there's been spending like crazy. America's in the worst debt it's ever been in. And yet again, it doesn't seem like anything's happening is what they say. But yet again, you cannot deny the facts. Guys, here's a video that really opens our eyes up about what is going on. So let's take a watch.
So are Americans prepared for a severe recession? That sounds like a crap sandwich. And is there anything our bumbling government can do to fight back at this point? Joining me now to discuss the Cato Institute Center for Monetary and Financial Alternatives. He is the director there. Norbert Michel is back. Welcome back, sir.
Hi, Kennedy.
Hi.
How are you?
So Nouriel Roubini, he was the only guy who was the Cassandra running around in 2008 going, oh, we are headed to hell on the fast track. And now he says the recession is going to be so bad, you're going to be sick of bad recessions. Your thoughts?
Well, first of all, yeah, no, don't give him so much credit. He didn't predict the day that it would happen or the day that it would start and exactly how. Lots of people were talking about things that we were doing financially, how they were going to end badly, and lots of people were right about that. Mm-hmm. So I don't want to give him so much credit. But in terms of, being Dr. Doom now, I really don't think there's any reason to do that. There are lots of good signs. Aside from that, the truth is we don't have any good thing to compare to. If you look at what's happened over these last couple of years with the COVID pandemic and the government-imposed shutdowns, the incredible drop in demand and the incredible snap back in spending, along with these really bad supply constraints, there's nothing in the historical record that we can compare this to. And that's a really big problem for trying to forecast a recession or anything else economic, because you need historical data, and we really don't have comparable historic data.
All right, so 2 consecutive quarters of negative GDP growth, that has been the historical definition for a recession. And we're going to know in 2 days if we have met that. So even if we did in the second quarter shrink, does that not necessarily mean a recession in your eyes? And what does it mean?
It does not necessarily mean a recession. The truth is there is no standard definition of a recession. It's kind of whatever the NBER says it is. There have been consecutive declines in GDP, quarterly declines in GDP 5 times since 1947. We've had 12 recessions. So it doesn't mean that we have to, and they haven't always preceded the recession either. That's important. The NBER looks at the depth, the duration, and the diffusion of all kinds of economic activity, and there are really many good signs. Industrial production, the index for industrial production, which is an output measure, is actually up above the pre-pandemic level. Job openings are strong, really strong. Lots of companies still looking to hire people. Household balance sheets, very strong. Household debt to GDP, all-time low. So there are lots of reasons, and I'm not naming all of them, but to not be so negative and to recognize, I think that what we're coming out of is absolutely anomalous, and we should be patient and let some of these things go filter out. Government policy-wise, we should be doing anything and everything we can so that people, businesses, business owners can produce and supply as many goods and services as possible.
But doesn't that mean the government doing
prices.
Less? Because what they have done, so if you have, the best case scenario, which you are kind of parroting from the administration and from Janet Yellen, it's like, oh no, we've got these things that are really strong. No. And then you've got, $15 trillion in debt that Americans have racked up in housing and credit cards and student loans and everything else. And the fact that 83% of people say that they are feeling the economic pinch and they are spending less. So they're kind of in the middle. And then you have Nouriel Roubini saying the earth will cease to spin because the global recession is going to be so bad. So where are we, and what can the government do about it, short of doing nothing?
I think that's the first time I've ever been accused of parodying Janet Yellen.
I was trying to think of a better word.
Yeah, no.
I was trying to think of a better word than parrot because I don't think that's necessarily positive. But you guys are putting out the same vibe right now.
No. I mean, there are lots of reasons.
Like you're both
to
wearing
not be
Tevas
Dr.
and
Doom,
you're blasting Jack Johnson.
Okay, fair. There are many reasons not to be so doom and gloom, but there are also lots of things that the government can do to step back and get out of the way. Lifting restrictions so that we can produce more energy, more oil, more gas, open up more refineries, all kinds of trade restrictions, non-tariff
That would be great, but this administration
tariffs.
is never going to do that because it would be admitting that everything they had done up to this point was wrong. And a lot of it has been wrong, and a lot of it has been bad, especially the reckless deficit spending, as though they're a bunch of modern monetary theorists, and it's dangerous. And I don't trust these. I don't know where the plane's going to land. After talking to you, I really don't know where the plane's going to land. I do not trust this administration to land the plane. That's all I know right now. But after talking to you, I feel better. And after the show, I'm going to go out and buy a Lamborghini. So thank you very much for that.
Like I said, guys, all this information, there's so much to think about. So who did you vote for is what I would like to know, if you don't mind sharing. Just because, do you regret your decision now? Do you wish you would have... Listen, I understand many people didn't like Trump. Yeah, he tweeted mean. Yeah, but let me tell you something. Gas was like $2. I mean, $2 gas. Grocery prices were actually good priced. We were actually pouring more into our economy, being stronger. Our army was being poured into. And yet, because if one of these guys from another country decided to go to war, they knew not to mess with the U.S. That's a good thing. President Trump wasn't perfect at all, but man, you can't tell me that Joe Biden is doing a better job. I'm just saying. Let us know down in the comments below. But here is the most up-to-date states that are sending out stimulus checks up to $1,500. Let's look on the screen. So these states are sending residents stimulus checks up to $1,500 to combat inflation. California checks worth up to $1,050, but you have Colorado, Delaware, Florida, Georgia, Hawaii, Idaho, and Illinois. These are the states who have already put it in fine print that they're sending out checks to their residents. So guys, make sure to stay tuned for more videos to come. We're going to keep you updated on all of the states sending out stimulus checks. Again, thank you so much for watching. Don't forget about the huge giveaways that we're doing on this channel. Guys, I love you. Hope you have a great day. Stay tuned for more. Until next time, I'm John Muro. Peace.